sea country to Yuku Baja people is very, very important. Just being out here looking at it makes you want to get in the tinny and get out there, you know. We lose this, we lose a stable diet, you know, like getting down here and still hunting the same way the old people used to do. That brings back cultural ways.
Yuku Baja Muliku's sea country starts from the mouth of the Annan River, so that's our northern boundary, and it comes down to Forsberg Point, which is the southern boundary. It then extends out 60 kilometres out to the sea, out to the reefs, just before the Ribbon Reef. Well, we're saltwater people. You know, I've always sort of grown up saying saltwater runs in my veins. You know, we would like there to be some acknowledgement of the fact that we are the traditional owners, at least ring us up and say, hey, look, we're going out to do scientific research of some sort out on your land. The way I look at it is, you know, this is our traditional land. We are the custodians of this land. Therefore, it's kind of like having your own property, you know, your own personal property that you pay rates for. And just that basic respect, I suppose, it comes down to that, having us involved, having asked us if they can access the land or if they can go to certain areas, because a lot of people don't realise that you could walk around anywhere here and just look at it as just a beautiful piece of land, whereas we look at it and we go, there's a sacred site there, or there's a scar tree over there, or, you know, which are culturally significant to us. So the middens, the beach that we're at the moment, there were shelled middens here that have been completely destroyed because people just didn't think, basically. You know, they just think that it was just sand dunes that they were driving over. You know, so that's all it comes down to, really, is having that respect of actually asking the TOs first if they can access the land, and then bring us along for the ride. We want to learn as well.
Whether you're a government official or not, I'll welcome them to country first, tell us what we're all about here. A little bit of heads up would be good, you know, that you're entering country. Some of the places we don't like people to come in. But a bit of heads up and telling us what you're doing here. And if it's something important that we'd like to get involved with it. If there's something that they know and we don't, we'd like to know about it, research-wise and stuff like that. But yeah, we'd like to know any government official coming in here.
I would like to join them and learn more stuff. We'll see. I like to achieve, love to learn all stuff about plants and all that, reef, water quality and all. Especially at bee reef and all that. Just to see how many good clear reef and clean reef that can. My auntie's always talking about history, about old people, and I'll sit down with her sometimes just to listen what she say, and like to pass it down to the younger ones then. All the old people used to come down here camping and all that, and they used to grow up and learn off land.
Yeah, there's a few stories around. I know the Rocky Island one, Bee Reef and all that. There's a few along the coastal edges along the coast. There's a few inland. They've been documented. But the story goes that the old people come in here and they move the people around the place, and it's all old Raymond stories of what they actually did. And the old people, he told the younger generation where to go and where not to go and all that stuff, yeah. A story I've heard when I was a young fella, that the old people used to live boat camp on that area there, the Draper's Patch area, there's a little bay there, and during the day they go out hunting, and the only way I know about it is the old people went out there to get clam, getting clams and mussels and stuff along the beach, and they tried to get one big clam out with a spear, And they shoved it in the clam shell, but the clam closed up, and then they couldn't get the spear back out. And everybody knew how to get to that place because they see the spear up there at low tide. But now it's all gone, wilted away over years' time and all that, with the rough seas. That everybody know where Draper Patch is now because of that area. I've known a few languages, but here in Archer Point, we're known by the both communities, Kugi Alanji and Kugi Imidit. We're in between, so they call us Wugumuyan. That means family with no language, but we're in between people, countries. You know, my dad from up this side, my mum from this side, and all that stuff. So yeah, it's between Kugi Alanji and Kugi Imidit.
Grandfather used to, always hunt from the Annan itself right to Woodgill nearly. Yeah, he always did that in a little canoe that he made. Yeah, we look after the turtle. We've got a rehab for them. So when it's rough and the turtle comes in very sick, and when we didn't have any seagrass too, so they usually come in really sick, hungry, thin. So we got to take them back and look after them, give them needles, follow up, all that, and feed them every day. We used to sit there and peel the prawns, do the squids. We do seagrass monitoring for the dugongs because when it flooded, the grass got all washed away and stuff like that. So yeah, we try to look after it as best as we can and keep monitoring it.
Well, the dugong and the turtle, stingrays and all that stuff, are the mostly ones that we are protected over. They use the little barbs as cutting tools and spears and stuff like that. But the stingray, yeah, one of the main diet. They just chuck it on the coal. If not, they boil it up until it all mince it together with the liver and onion. You got a big, nice feed, and that's one of the special diets, really.
Back when the old people were around, the reef would have been a lot easier to access. So there would have been cultural sites that are now underwater. The B Reef. B Reef is a cultural site for us. And then you've got Rocky Island, which is just out from Archer Point here. That's a cultural site for us. So for us, it's in our blood. It's who we are. We live from the sea. Everything that we are comes from the sea. Our food, our way of life, who we are now, even to this day. So, I think there's this misconception that Indigenous rangers want to basically come in and take over everything, and we're not about that. Especially, our family group especially, we're not about that. We're not trying to push people out. We're not trying to tell people, no, you can't come onto our land, or you can't come into our sea country, or any of that sort of stuff. That's not what we're about. It just goes back to, like I said previously, it just goes back to respect. Acknowledge us. Respect us enough to acknowledge us as the TOs of this land and sea country. Ask for our permission to enter places, or just let us know that you're going to be there at the very least. And then, like I said, if we can come along for the ride, we'll come along for the ride. If there's something that we can learn, we're all for it.